AITA for expecting my wife to help me pay back my student loans from her inheritance? My wife is a SOM for our 2 kids and I work full-time as the sole income provider for the family. I am slowly working on paying back my student loans. My wife recently received a relatively large inheritance, about 5x the amount of my student loans. A month after everything regarding the inheritance was settled, I talked with my wife about using the inheritance to pay off my loans. She refused to give me any of the money and said the inheritance belongs only to her. I told her that, yes, legally that's true, but we are a family and we should share our resources to make our burdens easier. She disagreed and said my student loans predate our marriage and are my sole responsibility. I felt like she was being unfair to our relationship and to us as a family. So the next day I told her that if she was not going to help me pay off her student loans, now that she has money, I will not be paying for any expense that is solely hers. Like clothes, eating out, flights, makeup, spas, new phone, etc. Instead, I will be putting that money towards my loans to pay them back faster. She accused me of being controlling with money and abusing my position as the income earner, but I don't see why I should be responsible for all that when she has her own money now. AITA? Info. What are her plans with the money? Is she putting away for children education, home purchase? Or is she just hoarding it as hers and not the family's? I think you're both being childish about it. But the bigger issue here is, why is she refusing to share her inheritance when it's 5x your loan amount? I could understand if it was close to the amount, but she would still have a large inheritance. So something else is going on here. I understand why you came to your decision, but you're married. Now is not the time to be petty. And talk to your wife. Y'all are headed for divorce at this rate. Yeah. It would be sensible of her to use that money to help you with your loans to generally put your family in a better financial position. Yes. It's abusing your position as income earner to deny her money for herself. Unless you're paying her a salary for watching the children, then she is enabling you to make your salary and is entitled to money too. As a former SOM, the way this sub practically deifies them baffles me. Yes, it is a lot of work. Yes, it is hard. But you aren't your husband's employee. You are his partner. That means you aren't raising his kids. As many on this thread have phrased it, you are raising your shared children. Assumably, there was at one point a discussion about what would be best for the family as a whole, and an agreement was reached for whatever reason that one parent should stay home with them. When you decide to have children, you know that they will require childcare for years. It's not a secret. Most SAHP have taken on the role because it is how they are contributing to the welfare of their family. Maybe they always have wanted to be one. Maybe they are doing it out of necessity. Maybe they felt forced into it and resent it. And maybe some have been forced into it. But in a healthy relationship, you don't owe your partner for pulling their weight and following through on a decision you both agreed to, which benefits everyone involved. A marriage should be a partnership. In yours, you bring in the money. She cares for the children in the house. Note valuable contributions. You shouldn't have had to ask. She should have offered to pay the loans, as that would have allowed more money to the household in a more comfortable financial position for both. The whole, my money is my money and your money is my money, is very selfish of her, and why she is the asshole. You on the other hand come off as both entitled and abusive. She didn't do as you wanted, so you held the purse strings as a first reaction, which makes me wonder that it wasn't the first time you used that. She doesn't work because she is caring for the children in the household. Her personal expenses and items should then be considered part of the household. Now, An inheritance doesn't mean she suddenly is independently wealthy and you still have a responsibility for the financial support since she is still providing her side of the bargain. Maybe a good compromise there would have been putting most of the money in an investment plan for retirement or so she can have some income with the earning if feasible. Don't know the amount. Regardless, based on the attitude there, y'all heading for divorce territory. NTA, and I say that as a Som. You can't have it both ways. Not knowing anything about you guys' relationship, I would suggest you sign a contract stating that, in the event of a divorce, you pay back the amount she gives you towards your student loans. Win-win. She is benefiting from your education as in it brings in your salary. But that situation can easily change. Then you would solely be benefiting and she would still be out some money. You are also benefiting from her status as a Som. You can't just pass over this detail without consideration that if you want her to spend her own money, she can easily tell you to either you be a sod and she works, or both work and the kids in daycare. This doesn't have to break your relationship, but you should be able to come to a resolution without ultimatums also. That's no way to properly communicate and negotiate with your info. Surely this isn't something that is coming up for the first time? What have you all done previously in situations where you have gotten non-earned money? What has been the previously established pattern regarding income and debts that pre-existed the marriage? I don't love that she is treating the inheritance as her money, assuming you have otherwise combined all your accounts and debts. But also YTA for suggesting that she is not contributing at all to your ability to earn your income. She is a Som for your kids, which deserves your respect. Info. You say your wife is a stay-at-home mom. Are you paying her for what would be your half of the cost of childcare if she were working? If not, then you paying for her personal items is that compensation. You and your wife need some financial counseling, and you need to decide what the financial future of your family means to each of you. I think you'll only be able to give a reasonable discussion about this with RHE help of an impartial third party. But if you have private loans with the interest rates, I don't know why your wife wouldn't want to pay them off, considering it would give everyone more freedom, and if she's smart with the inheritance she can make the money back. Info. How did you make the choice of her being a Som? How do you usually deal with money? Does she get her own pocket money? Or does she have to ask you when she needs something? NTA. You don't have a problem giving her money for things outside of necessities, making it harder for you to pay off your loans. But she has a problem doing the same for you. It makes sense that you would stop giving her money for things that are not necessities while you pay off your loans. Here's a problem from her standpoint. She is a Som, so she is totally dependent on his earnings and this is important. Her work history and personal earning potential are taking a hit over it. If she spends a chunk of this inheritance on his debts and he bails, she will be Sol. Whereas if she doesn't and he bails, she has more of a cushion. NTAI received an inheritance in 2020, and the moment I did, I contributed a large portion to our mortgage. My husband is the major breadwinner and purchased the home without my help. He pays most of the bills. He makes more money than I do. The rest we are investing AMD using to reno the kitchen. My point is, I was excited to take some of the burden off my partner. As women, we are told to keep money like that aside in case our husbands F us over. But I can really live like that. Also, there should be no reason for you to give your wife money as she has her inheritance sitting in her bank account. NTA. She should be looking at the inheritance as a way to lift up your whole family. Your family will be better able to prosper when your student loans are paid off. I'm assuming that the degree for which you took out loans is the degree that allows you to be the sole income provider for your family. Your wife reaps the benefit of that. It's not good that she's taking such an adversarial stance here. You're supposed to be a team. NTA on her mind, your money equals our money, but her money is hers only. That's not how this works. Are you able to pay off your student loan early? My husband's loan specifically stated they wouldn't allow that. Info. What country are you in? If you are in the US, I personally wouldn't pay public student loans until after the government makes a decision about forgiveness, so you don't end up paying more than whatever the new balance might become. If your loans are private, that's a different story.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.